All right, guys, I have very startling news for, everyone in the world. I'm afraid that I'm getting even more attractive. Now, and I don't know how this keeps happening to me, but alas, it's happening to me. Okay, and I'm very scared. And I can't say I wasn't warned, though. I've had multiple women tell me, they're always older women. They're like, I can tell you're going to look like a lot better when you're older. They're like, you look good now, but like when you're older, I feel like you're going to be something to be trifled with. You know what I mean? And bro, like, the thing is, I can see the undercurrents of it happening. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel it brewing beneath me. And look, I don't think I'm ready for it because I don't think I'm even ready for how I look right now. You know what I mean? And I'll get back to that later. But let me do my little self promo real quick. Okay, I've been streaming every day on Twitch, Bryce_Estelle, and I got my lives account. I'm gonna put both in the description. All right, if I remember. Anyways, I'm a good looking guy, but I feel like I have a very like ugly personality. Like I definitely have the personality of like an ugly person who just got randomly put in an attractive person's body. Now I've been attractive since I was like 17, right? And obviously, through there it's kind of, like obviously there's been a consistent growth there, but at the same time, it's like I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. But at the same time, it's like I can't help it. My personality always feels like I'm new. Like I'm shy. I'm a little bit of a bashful guy. A lot of people don't believe that because I talk on the internet. Y'all gotta understand, it's two different things. I'm gonna come back to that later though. But anyways, I'm shy. My biggest thing is I never shut up. Like I keep talking, right? And that's like, like when people have like that mysterious aura. Like someone came to my stream the other day and they're like, bro, you lost all your like mysteriousness because now you started streaming. I'm like, bro, the stuff that I told the internet about my life, I never had any mysteriousness. Like maybe mysteriousness in the sense of like, bro, like what kind of guy is this? Like what kind of individual is this? You know what I mean? Like, yes, like he's telling me all these details, but at the same time, like, how is he this kind of person? Like, maybe that kind of mysteriousness. But like overall, I didn't have like like, where is he? Like, what does he do? Like, I would tell you like where I was at, what I was doing. Because I'm shy, I don't shut up, and I like nerd stuff. Again, like I be playing video games on stream. I'm into comic books a bit. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't have that. Like I'm not really like I'm into sports, but I'm not really into sports. Like I couldn't get into a debate with you about sports other than LeBron being the GOAT. Like I just recently started listening to Young Boy, like I don't have like that, especially bro, for me being an African American male, I don't have like that calm, handsome aura. Now mind you, I am a calm and chill guy, but I feel like not in the traditional sense. It's like I'm calm, I'm relaxed, like this is how I speak. Like I don't really emote too much. But at the same time, an issue that I have is I'm so quirky. Like I feel like you can tell by my speech. Something I say, like, oh, like this guy, like, he might be a little quiet, might be a little even keeled, but he's definitely quirky. And that goes into me talking too much because the thing is, if I was just like a, regular guy where I'm like calm, but like I don't talk too much, no one really knows like, what I'm about. I could hide that quirkiness, but now the quirkiness is out there in the open. Like, yes, like, and the thing is, and also, me shitting on the uggos. Okay, now the thing is, people always say they're like, oh yeah, like people like don't talk about like unattractive people like that. If they really look good, da 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 da. When I tell you, I can't help it. Like again, like when people like act like I can't help it, man. Like I simply can't help but speak up, and part of that is because I'm not new to this, right? And I'm very irritable. Like I see like these uggos doing like their uggo things. I'm like, hey, I need to point that out. I need to talk about how big of a problem that is because I feel like no one else is speaking up. A lot of people don't stand up for the attractives, right? Because they're like, oh, who needs anyone to stand up for attractives? Like we're attractive. It's like no, like they're starting, like the uggos are trying to uprise and oppress us. Someone has to step up to the plate and it has to be me. Okay. Like I simply have no choice but to, live this kind of lifestyle. But I want to talk back again about like why this is like scary for me. Because for one, look at me. Okay. I'm clearly, just rolled out of bed. I still got the blanket on me because it's a little bit chilly. And I was looking in the mirror and now I'm looking in the camera. I can see the undercurrents. Again, I could see it brewing within, and it's scary. And again, I'm not ready. That's what I'm saying. I'm literally not ready. Like people ask me all the time. They're like, Bryce, why don't you have cornrows in literally all the time? For one, that's not healthy for your hair. Two, I can't handle looking that good all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's literally too much pressure. And I've talked about this before, bro. And people be thinking I'm joking. One time I had my cornrows in, went to a bar. When I tell you, everyone in the bar was looking at me with hope in their eyes. Do you have any idea how much pressure that is? Like, do you know how that makes me feel? Like, sometimes I want to blend into society as much as I can as a 6'6" male. But like, once I look a certain way, sometimes I have no choice. And it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm such a weird guy. Like I said, I have an ugly person personality. Look, the only thing I can do, I feel like an attractive person, is not even, I don't want to say spit game, but like talk in particular situations. But I feel like that's not even me. I feel like that's like my voice doing most of the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I have a couple good lines here and there. Like a few videos ago, I mentioned, if I'm talking to someone, or when I was talking to someone and they were like, oh, I have a boyfriend, I'd be like, where's he at? Like, yeah, like sometimes, I have like little things like that. But like in general, I just be BSing. I feel like for me, it's mostly eye contact and a soothing voice that gets the job done. That's why I would never tell anybody that I have game. Never tell anyone that I have game. Never coach anybody up on how to spit game, because I'm like, not gonna lie, what I do or what I've done is beyond me, right? Like it's like, I don't, when people say someone's beyond them, like it's in the sky right now at this point. But obviously, it's not that I'm worried about. Okay, it's the day to day. You know what I mean? Like the day to day, I'm going somewhere, I'm moving around, people staring at me. All right, that's the issue that I'm having, because I get very anxious in situations like that. But it's like if I walk outside like this, obviously, my hair is like what my hair is. I don't really have to deal with that so much. Okay, like yes, like it happens every once in a while, but it's not like, it doesn't feel like I'm like the main character of everyone's life. Which, by the way, I know I'm not, but I'm just like describing to you like my anxiety. Like there are times where I've been, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm having like PTSD flashbacks. There are times where I've been like so good looking, and like everyone was looking at me. It literally felt like every action I did was being like put under a microscope. But I think as I increase in attractiveness, I have to be more comfortable with that. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna have to step into that role. Like I'm really gonna have to put my foot in it. Because again, my content, I'm like, okay, I'm a handsome guy. These are my handsome guy experiences. But it's like, I'm sitting here telling you about handsome guy experiences and constantly nerfing myself. As much as I can. It's clearly very difficult to do. Like, I want you to look at something for a second. Okay, look at my face. You see this right here, bro? You see that? Like how am I supposed to conceal something like that? It's like I feel it brewing too, and I'm gonna get cornrows soon, actually. But I'm only gonna keep them in for like not that long, like a really short period, like to the point where you might not even see a YouTube video of me with them in. And I'm doing that because I'm wearing a special outfit. I'm actually gonna give you a preview here. That's a super good idea to do on my YouTube. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you the top first. Top is this. Okay, this is what I got coming in right now. Now, mind you, okay, this is actually tentative because I don't have it. Like, this is what I ordered, right? This right here, I had to get it in a size small. Now, mind you, I'm a slender guy, so like that will be fine, and it is already cropped. But I'm thinking of cropping it more like under the world. So it's like, under the globe, so it's more of like a bralette type deal. But as backup, I'm also getting this in case I pull this off better with the fit, and I'll show you the rest of the fit. And by the way, YouTube moderation, just so you know, this is a man, so don't, I know you can see like, some stuff like beneath the surface there, but like, yeah, don't worry about it. But anyways, okay, you got these. This is the one I'm definitely like leaning towards initially. Like you have these in your mind, right? Like you're thinking about them, like they're in your head. And I'm wearing it with these pants. Okay, so yeah, these pants, keep that in mind. Aren't these like really, like I love, they're like super baggy, and like me being tall, it's like I need them to like be oversized. And I'm be wearing them with these drawers. Okay, I ordered these drawers, and I'm gonna be like sagging religiously. Like I'm gonna be sagging like so aggressively to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, bro, you're completely, are your pants even on? Like I'm gonna be sagging like so hard. And chain doesn't really matter, but just know it's like a chain. Like it looks like this. I got one. Be wearing it with these Margiela earrings. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. With the key, and then I don't know, whatever this is, some sort of tag. I love Margiela. But something I couldn't find, also leather fingerless gloves with the fit. Now, this may have been a stupid decision, but I'm like, okay, say I get cornrows, something happens, like I'm not really liking how they're looking, something like that. I also got this. Can I zoom, please? Please, Lord, let me zoom. Okay, actually, I don't have to zoom. Basically, this is a like a scarf that I would wear around my head if push came to shove. But the thing is, if I wear it around my head, then you can't see the Margiela earrings, right? So yeah, this is like a thing. It's kind of like a flex option I have just in case like the outfit doesn't look how I want it to. But this goes with the Versace drawers in a very fun little way, like, don't you think? But you know what I mean though? Like, bro, I can throw some shit together with the best of them. So anyways, that's gonna be the fit, right? And I'm gonna be cornered up, and I'm gonna see the best barber of all time. Now, I'm gonna tell you, if my usual barber sees this, bro, I'm literally so sorry. But this barber that I go to in New York, he was my friend's barber. This dude, he does insane work. Like, dude, like he literally he does God's work in that barber's chair. Like, it's scary, bro. Like, you're gonna see pics, bro, and you're gonna like look at like me now, and you're gonna look at me in those pictures, and you're like, you're gonna be stunned. Like, you're gonna be like, I didn't know he could, evolve like this. And it's like, yes, like clearly. Do you know what I really think is pulling weight for me appearance wise? And things, this is something I normally wouldn't say. Drinking regular water. Now, mind you, everyone knows I hate regular water, okay? But I'd keep it kind of like a relatively consistent part of the diet because that's what people need. I would traditionally go for flavored water, okay? Zero sugar flavored water, though. Keep that in mind. So I'm not like drinking just a bunch of juice, okay? Don't get twisted. When I tell people I don't like water, they're like, oh, so you just drink juice and pop all the time? I'm like, no. You think I'm an idiot? Like, do you think I was a Division I athlete drinking like fucking soda? Like, no, okay? Propel flavored water. But I had ran out of Propel, right? So then I didn't want to. The thing is, the price difference between flavored water and regular water is so annoying. Like, you can get regular water, like a 24 pack for like $3, but flavored water, you get like a 16 pack for like 8. I'm just like, bro. Now, mind you, if it was really that deep, I would get the flavored water. But I'm like, you know what, bro? If the price is really this vast, let me get the regular water. Regular water, low-key doing things for me. As well as I mentioned to you guys before, I've been changing how I eat, eating a lot less sodium. I think sodium might have been like the thing I consumed the most because I was always super into like sauces and like bullshit like that. And of course like carbs because, bro, I love bread. I love bread and dairy. I love milk, bro. You know how hard it is to not consume those things. But price I'm willing to pay for, beauty. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, what do I need to go back and nerve myself? Because I am nervous. Like, again, like that's what this whole video is about. So yeah, I'm kind of, I'm nervous, horrified, whatever you want to say, but I'm going to have to step up to the plate. Okay, let that be a message. There are going to be moments where things are happening for you. Now, for you, will it be some sort of massive increase in attractiveness out of the blue? Maybe, maybe not. But there are going to be moments where you're going to have a thing, right? And you're going to be scared. You're going to be scared of that thing. You're going to be like, man, like this is going to happen. I'm so nervous, da 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 da. But you got to embrace it. Like, imagine, I notice my handsomeness is increasing, right? And then I stop posting, I stay inside, I hide. That'd be a horrible move. I'm going to have to embrace this, full steam ahead. Just like, again, you have your things going on in your life. If there's something for you, a lot of times success can be scary. It can be very scary for a lot of people. And the thing is, when you say it, it doesn't sound real. Like, like what? There's no way I'm scared of success. Like, there's no way I'm actually scared of that happening. But, if you really look inwards and ask yourself, it's like, no, like I am. Because again, like literally in my situation, and again, it seems very stupid. Like, I do not fail to acknowledge the humor in that situation. But it's like, I'm a handsome guy. I like being handsome. If I wanted to be as handsome as possible at all times, wouldn't I get a lineup like very frequently? You know what I mean? It's not like money's an object. Like I'll get like lineups all the time. You know what I mean? If I wasn't like me not getting lineups, what's the real barrier there? Like what is it? If me, especially being attractive, is as important to me as like I'm like posturing that it is. Like what's the gap there? There's a fear because again, I'm used to growing up. Like again, I was like a cute elementary schooler, like from an adult perspective. Like as you see, like a little kid, like oh look at that little kid, but didn't really get hoes. No, I didn't really get hoes. Middle school, chopped. I was a very chopped middle schooler. It was bad. Like I said, unattractive till I was 17. But mind you, I'm 23, so it's like I've been actively attractive for 6 years. I spent most of my life unattractive. Change is scary. A lot of times it's not even fear of success. It's fear of change. Like say there's some job, like say you live in, I'm going to try to think of what I'm going to say. You live in Kansas, right? Shout out you if you live in Kansas. You live in Kansas, you have some job and you find out there's like another job opportunity in Missouri, right? But the job is like so much better, like it's so much icier. Like all you would have to do is move to Missouri. The answer in and of itself presents itself. Yeah, I should absolutely move to Missouri to take this job that's better in every way. Higher pay, better benefits, whatever makes a job better than another job. I low-key don't even know. But it's like you're afraid of, okay, if I go to something that I don't know, that makes me feel vulnerable. Like, oh, like if I don't know what happens next, like if I don't have my days planned out the exact way that they've been planned out, I'm horrified. I don't know what to do. And I've already made videos where like long term, like again, like I was a little kid, like planning my entire future. When plans go awry, it already fucks you up. So even in the day to day, that can fuck you up. And mind you, the problem is, because like when I think about like big decisions like I've had to make, like again, like moving out of state college, which like moving out of state college does not question me because state college is horrible. It's a shitty place. I feel like what a lot of people miss out on is you may not hate where you're at right now, like in life, but you could like it a lot more. You know what I mean? Like you don't hate it. Like you're not necessarily in a bad position. You know, you don't necessarily have a bad job. You're not in a bad romantic situation, but it could be so much better for you. And I feel like you owe it to yourself if you look inwards and you're like, man, like I have more in the tank to take that leap, you know, like for you, because you don't deserve to work some job where you're like, okay, like this is fine. Like this is okay. You deserve to work a job where you're like, oh man, I like coming in here. Like I'm having a good time. I like my coworker. And obviously this doesn't mean that anyone has the ability to just simply like drop their job overnight or anything like that. But it's like, you know, if you're like, man, I definitely could do better, you know, maybe start looking, start thinking of new alternative ideas, you know. And again, it doesn't have to be with like work. That's just like the easiest thing to compare everything to, but there's many aspects of life that are like this. You're looking in the mirror, you're like, okay, I like my body, I think it's pretty good, but you know what? I could go to the gym. I could, you know, get a little bit more buff, you know, or I could lose a little bit more weight. Oh, I like my hair, but maybe I could style it a bit differently, you know, stuff like that. And mind you, that's not coming from a sense of never being satisfied, right? Or being like insecure anyway. It's just a sense where it's like growth mindset. Like, could I make this better? And sometimes the answer is going to be no. Like sometimes you're going to be like, nope, living my dream job. Nope, my body, perfect. I love how it is right now. And that's completely fine too. But the thing is, there's a lot of people, and you know a lot of them personally because it's what most people are doing. They're just living their life. They're coasting and they're like, yep, this is what I do. This is what it looks like for me. And you know, I'm going to tell you this right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to get to lore dump. That is why I would never, that's okay. It's not the main reason. It's like the second reason why I would never go back to Michigan long term. Because first of all, Michigan, okay, no. Okay. First of all, Michigan is my hometown. I always want to be far from the hometown, which I don't know if my hometown being Michigan kind of factors into that, but anyways, we'll get to all that. Second of all, Michigan's like in the middle of nowhere. I want to be in a city, right? Or at least Grand Rapids. It's not, it's not New York, LA, Miami, Chicago. It's not anything like that. But anyways, a big portion of why I couldn't go back to Michigan long term is that I find that people there, at least the people I'm around, if you're from Michigan, I'm not trying to like project onto you, but the people that like I've seen in Michigan are that kind of people where they're not doing what they want to do, but they're okay with that. They had these dreams, had or even have that they're just like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna chill and do this. Like Michigan, bro, is where dreams go to die. It's literally where dreams go. And if you're living in Michigan right now, and I'm speaking to you right now, like literally, like take this to heart, bro. Like take it to your chest. Like I have not heard, bro, and this is literally not even me trying to fearmonger. I have not heard a story, and I've met like a lot of people like in my day. I've not heard a story of someone coming back to Michigan from not being in Michigan in like achieving like some big overarching goal that they wanted to achieve. Like I remember I knew this dude, he went through a lot, was from Michigan originally, and like he wanted to go back there, get close to his family, and then never heard from him again, and his future was really bright, but like shit just fucking tanked. Shit tanks. Like it just drags people down. And I'm sure there are other places like this too. Like I don't think this is a unique experience, but it's like there are times where I just like look around because I visited Michigan, last summer and a couple times because I was like dating this girl there, and I would just like look around sometimes when I'm hanging out with people. I'm like, bro, like don't you want a bit more? I would hang out with people from high school, and then it would feel like high school again. We'd be, and now mind you, I could be dragging it, but it's like we'd be hanging out with people from high school, talking about other people from high school, in situations with other people from high school. Why are we talking about so and so got pregnant with so and so's baby? Like why do we still care about that? It's like now we're 23. We're at the age where like most of us have graduated college. Some people are in like getting their masters, other people took gap year, stuff like that. But it's like, what are we doing? And it's one of those places, it's so easy to get sucked into whatever they got going on. You know what I mean? Because again, like, when you graduate from high school or like any sort of like, establishment, you leave any sort of establishment and you catch up with people from there, like, yeah, like a little stuff's going to be talked about. Like, oh yeah, this happened with so-and-so, da, 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 da. But it got to the point where I'm sitting around with niggas. I'm like, bro, all we're talking about is high school. Like what has happened since? Mind you, people who went to fucking college went to college, went to even some big universities. You have nothing to talk about except what happened in high school. Like they're bringing up some, oh, Bryce, I remember when you fingered that girl during the band concert. And I'm like, bro, like what? Like, dude, that was so many years ago. Like, is there not some new shit? And mind you, some of them even went to college with each other. So it's like you could have made stories with each other from college and it would have been a thing. But no, just straight high school shit. And it's just like, and mind you, this is nothing against them personally. Like, love those people, right? Like from the bottom of my heart. But it's just like, it's the lack of new shit. You know what I mean? And it's the fact that like they're okay with there not being new shit. Because again, me personally, bro, again, like lately, there hasn't been new shit. Shit's been very chill for me. But you know, I'll tell you this right now. I don't like that. And that's why, you know, I'm not, that's not the only reason why, but part of the reason why, like I'm moving to a more active city. You know what I mean? I want to expand social circles and actually have things going on, you know, but it's like, even when I'm doing that, it's like, I still have things going on now because it's like, I'm working, I'm putting everything, you know, I'm putting so much effort into like what I'm doing right now with content creation. And, you know, it's behooving me thanks to you guys. But it's like, I'm just, you know, I want to imagine a scenario, right? Imagine a scenario, I went to high school, went to Penn State, things didn't work out, right? And I go back and say I start working at my high school, or I work at my local Meijer, which, by the way, if Meijer is regional, if you don't know what Meijer is, it's the best grocery store on the planet. I don't care what store you're thinking of right now, it's better. It's perfect. They have fish in there, like pet fish that you can buy. Anyways, I love Meijer, okay? But, I go back and I'm working at Meijer. Nothing wrong with working at Meijer. Nothing wrong with like working at my high school. I'm giving like two different options at once, two different scenarios. But they're kind of like the same, and then like I make a living for myself. I'm living somewhere, maybe have a roommate, maybe I don't have a roommate, whatever. Let's just say I'm living by myself because I'm going to make it like the best case scenario. I mean, for this scenario, as best as I can make it. I'm sitting there, I'm waking up, and I'm waking up in the same place where I spent 17 years waking up. I'm sitting here waking up in the same place where most of my life has already taken place, where most of my stories were already written. And I'm hanging out with people from said stories. And we don't have new shit to talk about. Nothing new happens. Sit around, smoke maybe, drink a little, and then we talk about high school. And that's my thing. I'm like, when does it end? Like when are you born again? Like it seems like people there, bro, it's like they died and they don't know it yet. Like their lives are over and they don't know it yet. Or I should say their lives aren't over and they don't know it yet. And it's like, I really worry about niggas, bro. Like I worry about niggas where they're like, okay, like, yep, I'm going back to Michigan to do this. And then like, eventually I'm going to go and do this. Like I'm going to go leave Michigan and do this. I don't know, bro. Michigan, it be sucking niggas in, bro. That's what hometowns do. It's just, I'll never forget, bro. My dad. I remember I was seeing him as an adult. Okay, so it was after I was abandoned. And he was basically like, just yapping a bit about his life. Okay, he had a lot of drinks in him. And he was talking about like everything he went through. Like he was like, man, like, my first degree, it didn't mean shit. So I went back to school. I studied really hard. And now my thing about my dad, he's not like a book smart guy. You know what I mean? Like he like, and like, this isn't me shitting on him. Like he literally, like this was his point. Like he was always like shitty in school. And he's like, he studied really hard, got a 3.5 GPA to graduate with like a different degree. He's basically talking about, he's like, he worked his ass off for it. And when he walked, the graduate, like, when you graduate, you walk. When he walked by, there was nobody there to clap for him or cheer. Like he was like, man, this white person went in front of me. It was loud as hell. Like all these white people, like just like clapping, like it got so loud. And then when I went, it was silent. But he was saying it was worth it because he worked so hard to get that degree. And he was like, and you know where that got me? Right back fucking here. And he was smiling when he said it, but like I felt his pain because when he said right back fucking here, his hometown is what he was referring to. And that was a situation due to the fact where he thought if he was taking care of me in Michigan, that my mom would basically be dating other people while he was taking care of me, and he didn't want to do that. So he abandoned me, left, went to went to Alabama, which is whatever. I think I talked about that in another video. Okay, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, at that point he was, I don't know, probably early 30s. Yeah, early 30s. And he went back to his hometown, and everything that he had going for himself, when he was, out of that state, and even when he first got there, like he was really locked in, like he was getting property, stuff like that. It all came crashing down. It all fell, fell by the wayside. And now he's there and he does not love his life, bro. I don't even think he likes his life. And that shit right there horrifies me. The concept of getting to 50 years old and I don't like my life and I don't like where I'm at is horrifying to me. Like, I think about that shit every day where I'm like, bro, do I really have to get 9 videos out? Man, do I really have to do a YouTube every day? Do I really have to stream every day? That thought of being 50 years old back in my hometown, but for one, I'd simply never go back to my hometown. Like, bro, I don't care. I would find somewhere else. I'd rather go to like straight up like a random location I've never been or don't know anybody in. But anyways, I'd literally rather not be alive than be in that kind of situation, and that horrifies me. It's like I don't want to get there because I know how heartbreaking that would be. Because again, think about all the shit that you've been through in life, bro. Because again, I can speak for myself. Like, everything I went through, like, and I've given you guys a bunch of lore drops. Everything I went through with football, like all the death that's come through my life. The me almost dying, me getting like super sick. All those kinds of issues like coming and like stacking up on top of each other. Going through all of those things. Oh yeah, going through repeated failures with like, oh, you can't get this major. Oh, I'm sick, so now I can't play football. All this shit that I had to fight through. If I fought through all of that I fought through to end up in a place where I don't fuck with where I'm at, to not like I'm not gonna be unreasonable. Like, if I can't simply say like I like the way shit's going right now. You know what I mean? Like, even if I'm like, again, like growth mindset, like, oh, I can always like strive for more. If I can't say that like I like where I'm at once I reach, even like a mid-age, like a middle age, that shit would fucking break my heart. And I don't think I'd be able to recover from that, genuinely, and that's not me being dramatic. That's just like literally, like, thinking about that, like, is putting tears in my eyes. Again, like, bro, thinking about my dad, like, giving me that speech where he's like, oh man, it got me right fucking back here. Literally, bro, I almost cried when he like said that shit to me. Like, it's so corny, but it's like my worst fear in life to end up like that. And what's funny is I used to think the problem was the dating thing. Like, I used to think, okay, man, like, his issue must have been like he didn't like settle down like when he could have settled down. Like, he fumbled my mom, blah 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 blah. But then I realized it's not even about that, man. Like, it's just about like, because I know for a fact. Please, I'm praying no one in my family sees this video, but I know for a fact my dad would be happier if he was single. You know what I mean? It's more so just about loving what you do. Whoever you do involve yourself with in your life, you do enjoy them thoroughly, even if you are single. And if you do have a companion, that genuinely being the right companion for you and not you having a companion for the sake of having a companion. Just being able to feel, happy, proud of yourself, feeling like you made it through things for a reason. You know what I mean? And that's always been like my biggest thing for a long time. Because a lot, like when I had like a lot of like mental issues based around like, I mean, just like I was diagnosed with like anxiety and depression when I was in high school. So, and I'm pretty sure I had it like since like I was a child. But like once I went through the things that I went through, the hardest thing to like come from me is I'm like, bro, I just want to feel like that shit happened for a reason. Like, I want to be able to think back at that shit and not be sad about it. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I want to be in a place in my life where it's like I think back at the bad things that happened to me and then like I can very cornerly be like, oh, well, that's what got me here. So I'm super happy about it. Like, that's what I want truly. Right? And I think I don't know. I think in some way that should be the goal for everybody. Because I mean, like, happiness is the goal at the end of the day. But it's like if you have certain shit that like you had to like get through, like you definitely want to feel like it was worth it to go through that. And honestly, I feel like the way you can do that is growth. You know what I mean? Like, just like thinking to yourself, like, bro, I am like miles above the person that I was when such and such situation happened to me. You know what I mean? And it may take, and it definitely takes time to grow like that. But that growth truly is satisfying, and it is in steps, right? Like just growing a little bit isn't going to make you feel like, oh man, all that bad stuff that happened to me, it's actually great, but that growth is the key, and like, circling back around to my original point, that's what I feel like. I feel like Michigan, bro, is dead soil. It's not fertile, for me. Like, and people, like, I talk to people about Michigan. I shit on Michigan to everyone. And they're like, oh, maybe it's just like that for you. For other people, like, they're okay. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're dying inside. They just don't know. And the thing is, my friend, like, explained it to me. He's like, bro, like, because he used to be in New York. He's like, bro, the problem with New York is everyone's, like, on a mission. Like, they all have, like, a task, like, da-da-da. Like, they're all working for something. But, like, in Michigan, people just chill, and they're just, like, they're just there. And I'm like, that's the issue. Because now, mind you, it depends on your age. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you're at a point in your life where you're more settled. Like, your days of like fighting for what your life is going to be are essentially over, and you just want to relax. Of course, you just want to relax, right? But if you have aspirations, you know what I mean, or anything, any inkling of like hope, and you're like in your early 20s, I don't. It pains me to know that there are people who already are like, yep, this is my life when they're in their 20s. That's so young, man. Even in their 30s, like, you're kind of tripping. Like, to think that you're set into, like, oh my gosh, that you're set into a certain kind of lifestyle. Like, your entire life can change in a fucking year, bro. In a year. And it's corny to say, but like, I hate to say living proof, because I also feel like that's corny as well. But it's like, for me at least, I'm the testimony. And it's like, I've seen my life change in a year. And it's like, I can only imagine, I can only imagine how different shit's going to be a year from now. Like, how much better things are going to be a year from now, given the certain path that I'm taking and the growth that I'm seeing on those paths. So it's like the fact that like some people, and it might even be you, can sit on their ass knowing that they want more from life, hoping it's just going to walk on in and like drop on their doorstep. Like, oh, like, here's purpose. Oh, here's this thing that you've always wanted. Boom. You know what I mean? Like the willingness to work needs to be there. It's like, again, I know I probably, belabor the point, get corny talking about, man, work. But it's like, not even in a traditional sense. It's just like, I feel like a lot of people sell themselves short, and they can be so much more than even they know. So it's like, again, I have a lot of people in Michigan who are my age, 23, and they're done. Like, literally, they're like, okay, what I'm doing right now, that's it. And I can't believe that, and I can't subscribe to that ideology, and I can't validate it. So when people are like, oh, different strokes for different folks, I'm like, no, fuck no. Like, that is not okay. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for those people. Like, obviously, I don't hold it against them. Like, I legitimately feel bad. And honestly, not gonna lie, the crazy shit about that is when I was going through everything with football, mind you, sick to the point where I went to the hospital, almost passed away, right? And then I couldn't play football anymore. My friend from my hometown told me that people were going around saying that I was folding. Like, oh, Bryce's tweet, like, he had such a great opportunity with football and he was folding. And it's like, now look at niggas, bro. Or if I had a soundboard, I'd drop like the boom, like that sound right there. And it's like, bro, you want to talk about folding? Nigga, you already folded. Like you've been folded by the time you were accusing me of folding. Like, some niggas folded in high school. Okay, they already called it a day. They're like, okay, once I graduate high school, life over. And it's like, bro, your life, bro, no matter where you're at, no matter how old you are, is always one day from beginning. But you have to decide it begins. Bro, when I tell you, I feel like I've died like 4 times. And it could be even more than that. There could be times I'm not thinking of. But every time, bro, I fucking rise again, nigga. You know what I mean? Every time, bro, I look in the mirror, sobbing uncontrollably, being like, Bryce, it's so fucking over, bro. It's so over. It's so over. I would always, like, bro, I wouldn't even want it to be there. Like, I wouldn't want this part of me to be there, right? This next part that I'm talking about, I'm giving you like a sneak little preview. I'm really like building up to the next part, but like, I'd seriously be like crying, bro. I'd be in a fetal position, bro. I wouldn't want this part of me to be there. I'd want to be gone. I want to disappear, completely disintegrate. But there's always that part of me that said, no, it's not. Like I'd be saying it's over, and it was like, no, it's not, Bryce. Like there's so many times in my life, bro, where I wanted to lose hope. Oh my God. And that's, again, that's another thing with people being afraid of success. You know, certain, like if you're like mentally ill, sometimes you're afraid of success because then it's like you don't have a reason to, you know. But like there's so many moments in my life where I legitimately, I wanted no hope. I wanted no fight left in me. I wanted to give up. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be able to give up. But there's something in me. There's that voice. It's not over. Couldn't let myself do it. You know what I mean? And that, the thing is, it's like that voice was always within me, right? But it had been beaten down consistently by life. You know what I mean? Just like overall. And, you know, getting into football and all that situation beat it down to a pulp, to the point where it's literally like probably like the size of, I don't know, size of this, okay? In my entire body is like, oh my gosh, give up, give up, give up, right? But it's still there. You know what I mean? Like what I went through couldn't kill that part of me. That's like, hey man, there's more in the tank. Like, dude, there's so many times where I'm like, bro, I feel old as fuck. Like there are times where I'm like, bro, I feel like I could die of old age. I was like fucking 19, 20. I'm like, bro, niggas could never understand the depths that I encountered. But it's like when you're in those moments, bro, and you're completely overwhelmed by wanting to be fucked up, wanting to give up, wanting to be like, bro, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want shit to be like this. And that little voice is like, hey man, it's not over. It's not over till you say it's over. And actually, no, not literally. I was saying it was over, and that voice was like, "Actually, no, it's not." Like you, like it's just an expression. Like even you saying it's over does not mean it's actually over. It's not over. You got more in the tank. And obviously, I don't mean like a literal voice. Like I mean like just a thought in your head. Just so you know, I'm not getting too metaphysical on you. But the thing is, bro, you want to listen to that thought, right? And it seems obvious, you know, but in the moment, it can be very hard to do. Listen to the thought that's like, you know, just like, oh man, against all my better judgment, you know, I'm completely counted out. My back's against the wall. Listen to that. Listen to that thought in your head that's telling you it's going to be okay. Because when you listen to that thought, you cultivate that thought and you act accordingly with that thought, right? And you do the things that thought process aligns that wants you to do, things are going to be so much better. It's what leads you to a better place. It's like back when I was like super, super down bad, I remember like, you know, I heard that, you know, I had that little thought, like I was like completely, you know, enshrouded by, pretend that blanket's like the bad thoughts. I was completely enshrouded by the bad thoughts, but you know, then there was just that little, you know, thought I had in my head where I was like, bro, you low-key got more in you. I'm like, bro, it's over, bro, my life. What's left, dude? It's just funny because I'm so young. I'm like, bro, there's no life left to live for me. Then, you know, that little thought, I was like, no, bro. No, like just like truly lock in. You know, if you think shit is like that crucial for you, then dude, you should have no problem whatsoever locking in. And I was like, okay, fuck you, whatever, I'll lock in. And then once I started locking in, that's when I started not only like succeeding, but also just like internally feeling so much better. Because the thing is, you have those moments where it's like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I need right now. I don't know what I want right now. But internally, you do know. Okay, it's just you have to find that voice. Sometimes it can be harder to find than other times. And then a lot of times, you don't want to listen to that voice. Like, you know, have you ever like confided to someone you're opening up and they're trying to give you like ways to like, oh, like here's how to like resolve it, like maybe like do this, do that, do this, do that, and you know the things would like low key work, but you're just like, nah, like, oh, I need to like cry right now, or I need to feel this way right now. It's low key like that, but then again, it's in your head, so it's a bit hard. So it's like I knew in my head that, you know, it's somewhere within me. I knew that working was going to make me feel better. I knew that like grinding, like the concept of grinding, putting out a lot of content, putting out a lot of product, putting out a lot of output in general was going to make me feel better. Once I started doing things with my fucking days, that was my problem for a very long time. I wasn't doing shit with my day. And then at the end of the day, I would feel very much like, bro, I don't even deserve to sleep right now. There's a quote by John Cena. He was like, bro, he always sees like, did I work enough to like deserve this sunset, you know, or something like that. I did not deserve the sunset, bro, because I didn't do shit. And, you know, and I look back to when I was a child, bro. I was a workaholic child. Like I was always doing extracurricular activities. I hated naps, all that shit, right? But then basically, you know, going into football where you're literally like not able to sleep, it ruins the shit for you. Like, or at least for me personally, it's like, again, like we have some form of things from like 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I feel like completely fucking screwed by it. And then, like, again, like football ends up how it ends up. And I'm like, okay, I finally have free time. This is great. I finally have time where I can do nothing. Cause again, even like growing up, like, yeah, there was just like little moments where I did do nothing, little moments where I did just like play video games or whatever. But, during football, that's not really a thing you can do. Like, yes, it is, but like at the same time, no, it's not. Like, I remember I had to talk to this girl where she was basically like, oh yeah, you used to never call me, da 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 da. And I was like, well, I used to play football. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, I have this hour to be free. Should I sleep for this hour because I only slept 4 hours last night, or should I call you? And the answer was always going to be sleep. But anyways, right? No time. So then once I got access to free time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then I started, again, taking advantage. I'm sleeping constantly. My sleep schedule's all over the place, which again, not a good example because my sleep schedule's all over the place now. But overall, it's like I'm not doing shit. Like, I'm laying around. But then it's like I just look back. I'm like, bro, when I was at a better place, which unfortunately for me was literally like when I was a minor, like a child, when I was in a better place, I was doing shit. You know what I mean? And I've always wanted to be the person to do shit. Like, I've never wanted to, like, when people like they're like, oh, I can't wait until I can just like retire in life and chill. I've never been that guy. So it's like working genuinely makes me feel good. But that part in my mind where I knew that work made me feel good was so suppressed due to, certain things I'd been through with football. I felt like doing nothing with my day was the answer, right? Like that's how like outwardly I felt. But then like subconsciously, like it was like, no, like, bro, like the shit you always fucked with was working and like doing things and accomplishing things. You love accomplishing things, bro. That's like your thing. So I just listened, and then that's when things started to work out for me. And then like, it's going even better than I anticipated it going when I was at its precipice. So also, when you're, going through a tough time, think about how things were when you weren't going through a tough time. Like, what were you doing? What kind of things were you partaking in? Like that kind of, it seems simple, but that can give you the answer a lot of the time. And like truly, when you're feeling like overwhelmed or like depressed, anything like that, take a step back, listen to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't listen to the depression. Listen to you, because, the depression and all that stuff, like that's allegedly not you. Like, that's what the streets say. They say that's like an overwhelming force. But you should be in there somewhere telling you what you need, telling you what to do. And sometimes all you need to do, bro, is just have hope. Have hope for better days. Be like, bro, it's not always going to be like this. Especially if you're talking about like a particular event, bro, an event is not going to be like that. But at the same time, again, like something that little voice is trying to tell you again is you do still have to take steps to make sure it's not like that, right? Like I could like lay in bed and like, again, have a bunch of people tell me, oh, it's not going to be like this forever. I could sit there tell myself it's not going to be like this forever. But if I'm doing the same shit, then yes, it will be like that forever. But once you start working towards, and again, this isn't always like literal work, but like once you start working towards what you have to do in that aspect to get rid of the thing that you don't want to be forever, like that negative feeling, what you working to get away from. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. I did not sleep last night. But once you start working towards, once you start working away from the negativity that you don't want to last forever, that's when you can actually be like, oh shit, this isn't going to last forever. You know what I mean? Like me laying in bed, like feeling like a worthless and pointless, like what am I doing? Like, because I like literally wasn't doing shit. But then once I, started recording a bunch of videos, I'm like, oh, I see. Like, I feel like I'm doing shit. Like, now I feel like I'm worth something because I'm actually doing something worth something. You know what I mean? Just keep that in mind. Like, people from Michigan could, as if I'm not from Michigan, people from Michigan could never come to that conclusion. I'll tell you that right now. For people in Michigan, this thing, completely out the window. Oh my gosh, I completely broke whatever that was. It was actually a wireless earbuds case, but the earbuds were already broken, so I'm not worried. But anyways, yeah. So moral of the story, that. But initial point of the story, I'm getting handsomer, and I'm afraid of it. And again, like, bro, if I'm getting handsomer off, wait, hold on, let me get the face I was making earlier. Let me get the angle. New one. Oh my God, that one really scared me. See, yeah, I'm getting really horrified. And if I look like this, completely sleep deprived, mind you, And I just started taking like crazy care of myself too. Like, bro, like less than a week ago, I was like, okay, I'm really gonna lock in. Like, I've been like, obviously, I generally take care of myself, right? Like, no one's gonna pull up on me and be like, oh, bro, you don't take care of yourself. But I really started like locking in like the way like people like who are like super anal about it do. So it's like, bro, we're kind of, bro, things are about to get dangerous around here, and I'm ready for it. But anyways, thank you for watching. Let me think. State of affairs. I kind of yapped for a long time. Like that I got to get motivational on you guys a little bit. You know, I always like to do that. But I'm streaming Detroit Become Human today. I think I'm gonna finish the game probably, depending on when I wake up actually. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for that. It's a very great game, and it probably the most fun game I've had. I played Expedition 33 yesterday. That's also very fun. But for some reason, none of my regulars were in the Twitch chat for that one. Like it was completely like actually nah. There's one dude who I knew was a regular, but like most of them were like new, and I was like, like it's nice to have new people. But I'm like, bro, the homies. But anyways, again, I'll put that in the description. Hopefully, I hope I remember. So if you wanna check any of that out, but yeah, I think that's about it for state of affairs. You know me, I'm on my same shit grinding. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, everything I say. I'm so sorry, and I love you. Okay, have a great day, night, evening, morning.